You're 8 years old, the first time someone tells you you're fast. Not just regular fast, not just chasing your dog around the yard fast. Something different, something sharper. It happens during a game of tag at recess. You aren't trying to impress anyone. You're just playing. But when you run, the other kids don't even come close. You zigzag around them like they're standing still. When the game ends, one of the teachers whistles low and says, "Wow, you've got wheels." The other kids start calling you things like jet or lightning. You laugh, but something inside you lights up. You like the sound of it. You like the way people look at you when you run. You don't know what track and field is yet. You've never stepped onto a starting line, but you already understand that your legs are different. You race everyone you meet. Older cousins, neighbors, and kids twice your size. It doesn't matter. You win. And when you win, it feels like something more than just a game. It feels like a flight, like your body was made for this. Your gym teacher notices. She tells your parents. They sign you up for a local youth track club. You show up in mismatched socks and worn-out sneakers, standing next to kids in spikes and uniforms. You feel out of place until the first race. Then the gun fires, and everything disappears. You don't hear the crowd. You don't see the other runners. It's just you and the finish line. And when you cross it first, they cheer. Not just polite clapping, real cheering. That's when you realize it. This isn't just something you're good at. This is something you love. It's the one place in the world where everything makes sense, where you feel free, where you feel alive. High school hits like a starting gun. Suddenly, everything speeds up. You're barely a freshman and already being called the future. Coaches watch your every stride like they're studying film. Upperclassmen nod at you in hallways, not out of kindness, but because they know who you are. Your name is on watch lists before you've even put on the school uniform. There's pressure, but there's also pride. You're not just racing anymore. You're representing. You dominate. Districts, regionals, state, it all starts to feel routine. You break the school record in the 100-meter dash by your sophomore year. Headlines call you a generational talent. You start to get mail from colleges you've only seen on TV. Track meets begin to feel less like competitions and more like showcases. You know people are there to see you. Some even bring stopwatches just to time your splits from the bleachers. Your social media starts blowing up. Strangers follow you. People call you a phenom. Brands begin to sniff around, but they only see the highlights, the gold medals, the record times. They don't see the nights you limp home after a hard workout. They don't see the ice packs, the blisters, the foam rolling sessions that leave you sore enough to cry. No one posts about that part. You start studying sprinting like it's a science. You break down your form frame by frame. You time your block starts to the 1,000th of a second. You adjust your diet, your sleep, and your mindset. You sacrifice parties, dances, and family trips. While your classmates take selfies at prom, you're doing explosive bounding drills in the dark. People think it's discipline, but really it's fear. The fear that if you stop, even for a day, someone else will catch you. Someone else will take your spot. You're addicted to progress, to being faster than yesterday. Not because it's fun, but because slowing down feels like disappearing. You're still just a teenager, but your life already feels like a countdown, and you plan to make every fraction of a second count. You're at the top of your game. You're clocking national times, posting sub 10.2 seconds, and hearing your name in Olympic whispers. Then one race, just another routine, 100 something goes wrong. Halfway down the track, your stride falters. A sharp, tearing pain shoots through your hamstring, and you stumble, nearly falling. The world slows down. You sit on the edge of the track while the trainer wraps ice around your leg. Tears sting your eyes, not from pain, but from the fear of what this means. An MRI confirms it, a grade 2 tear. You're out for at least 2 months, maybe more. You try to tell yourself it's fine. You've come back from hard things before, but this feels different. You rehab quietly. The messages slow down. Coaches stop checking in. The hype cools. You're no longer the new phenom, just another what if. It messes with your head. You wonder if maybe that was it. Maybe you had your moment and lost it. But something deeper kicks in. Not fire, not rage, just belief. You start from scratch. You rebuild your mechanics. You strengthen your core. You train with intention, not just intensity. Slowly, you come back. Not just healed, better. Your form is cleaner. Your starts are sharper. You're more balanced, more durable. You run again, first small meets, then bigger ones. You don't just return to form, you surpass it. Your new personal best is a 10.01, then 9.98. The doubters stop talking, the agents start calling. You qualify for nationals again, you place second. And this time, when you cross the finish line, it doesn't feel like a comeback. It feels like a beginning. Turning pro isn't a moment, it's a process. You don't sign a contract and wake up a legend. You wake up sore, with more to prove. Always more. You skip the parties, you skip the shortcuts. You take a modest sponsorship deal and a spot on a training group out west. It's not glamorous. You share a one-bedroom apartment with 2 other runners and eat too much rice and tuna, but you don't care. You're here. Your days revolve around fractions of a second. The difference between running a 10.01 and a 9.91 is everything, so you live in the details. Sleep becomes sacred. Every stretch, every rep, every meal is planned. Your coach pulls you aside and says, if you want to run with the best in the world, you have to become obsessed with the boring stuff. So you do. The boring stuff becomes your edge. The Diamond League calls. Your name is on the starting list next to world champions and gold medalists. You've watched these guys on TV since you were a kid. Now you're standing on the same track. You're in lane 6. The stadium lights blur. Your heart pounds, but you don't flinch. The gun fires. You explode out of the blocks. No fear, no hesitation. You finish 3rd, 9.93, a new personal best. And more than that, proof that you belong. Suddenly, everything changes. Invitations, media requests, bigger meets, bigger stages. You're not chasing anyone anymore. Now they're chasing you. You qualify for the World Championships, then the Olympics. You walk into the stadium and feel the weight of everything it took to get here. The early mornings, the missed birthdays, the pain, the doubt. It all flashes through your mind. But when the starter calls you to the blocks, everything fades. You're not here by luck. You're here because you earned it. And this time, you're not just happy to be here. You're here to win. You do win. Not every race, not every season, but enough. Enough to leave a mark. Enough to earn respect. You medal at Worlds. You make 2 Olympic finals. You stand on the podium once, national flag draped across your shoulders, and hear your anthem play while your eyes blur with tears. You aren't the most famous. You aren't the richest. But you made it. You stayed. And that, in this sport, is everything. The years go on. You train smarter. You race less, but better. You know your body now. You know what it needs and what it can't take. You reinvent yourself from a raw speedster to a technician. You win with execution, with experience, with grit. Younger sprinters come in with flash and fire. You teach them how to last. You become a veteran, the guy people listen to in warm-ups, the one the rookies ask questions, the one the trainers trust. You carry yourself with quiet pride. You've seen what it takes. You've seen what it costs. Eventually, your time's slow. The final meets come and go. There's no big farewell tour, just a last race, a final warm-up, a moment in the blocks where you breathe in the stadium one last time. You run hard, you finish strong, you bow your head and know, this part is done. But the story doesn't end there. You coach, you mentor, you speak to kids who were just like you, chasing something they can't quite name yet. You see that same fire in their eyes and you know what it can become if they're willing to give everything. You don't talk much about medals. You talk about effort, about heartbreak, about belief. You tell them the truth, that sprinting doesn't give you much, just seconds, just moments. But if you give it your soul, sometimes those moments last forever.